Listening to the Mineral Way right here on this radio station, wherever that happens to be. Hanging out today with pharmacist Ben Fuchs and Dave Michaels. The Mineral Way broadcasts live every Monday afternoon, 5 p.m. Pacific. If you want to get on board, all you have to do is give us a call at 831-479-1080. Send a text message to 831-218-5726 or email kscodave@gmail.com, or you can also go to themineralway.com. I guess that's a good place to go as well. Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hello there.
Hello
David.
there, Ben.
Missed you, buddy.
I missed you too, Ben.
Did you know I
Where
got
were
an
you?
embarrassing phone call from your boss?
Oh, no.
Saturday.
What happened?
He actually called me up while he was on the air.
Oh, no.
And he actually asked me questions.
What a guy.
It was very shocking. But anyway, you know what he talked about?
No, what?
A topic that I don't know why people still want to talk about this.
It wasn't
Not
about
for you.
doing that thing in the shower, was it?
No, it wasn't about doing anything in the shower. No.
Okay.
That's rude.
I know.
It was about cholesterol. Oh, my God.
Oh,
We're still
geez.
talking about cholesterol. Are we really still talking about cholesterol, people? This incredibly valuable and multifunctional molecule in the body. It's arguably the most important molecule in all of human biology. Arguably. Could very well be. I think it is. And we're still talking about, oh, I got to lower my cholesterol. What's my cholesterol score? Oh, my cholesterol's high. You got to take a statin drug, blah, blah, blah. The stupidity of that is so hard for me to get my mind around. Not for people, patients and average folks, I can understand, but for medical professionals to buy into that nonsense about lowering cholesterol mechanically. And by the way, MZ, who we're talking about here, he said, is it a problem, my cholesterol? I was like, yeah, that's a problem. But that doesn't translate to taking a drug that artificially, mechanically poisons the cholesterol production system. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just because elevated cholesterol is a problem, that doesn't mean the answer is to take a poison that shuts down cholesterol production. That's called, what they call that in magic? I don't know if you know anything about magic.
No.
There's a thing called misdirection. Misdirection is when the magician has you look at his hand while he's picking your pocket or while he's doing something with the cards, right? They call misdirection. Mm-hmm. The idea that just because cholesterol levels tend to be high when you have heart disease and cholesterol is associated with plaques and clogs leads you to the answer of now I'm going to take a statin drug that shuts down my cholesterol production is complete misdirection. The misdirection is they're directing your attention to a statin drug instead of to the cause of the elevated cholesterol. See, we want to look at the causes. The drug model, the pharmaceutical model that almost everybody participates in, present company excluded, at least some present company excluded, purports to make us better by shutting down chemistry. What we're about as alternative practitioners or as longevity practitioners or distributors or just people who appreciate alternative health is not shutting down chemistry in order to reduce or to lower or suppress a marker, but it's to find the cause. See the distinction? The misdirection is, oh, you got this problem, well, we got a drug for you. What they should be saying is, oh, you got a problem, let's find the cause. Which is better? Which sounds better to you?
I like the second one better because the other one sounds like you're looking for a fight. You got a problem?
Yeah, I'm going to give you this drug. And not only that, but now you have to go to the doctor. Now you got to go to the pharmacy. Now you got to deal with your insurance company. Now you got to freaking pay for the drug. Now you got to deal with side effects and toxicities, some of which can cause the same problems that you're taking the drug for. And you haven't addressed the problem. You haven't addressed the problem. Let me say it again. That's so important. You haven't addressed the problem, which is why, for the life of me, I cannot figure out why our knuckleheaded medical professionals use this kind of protocol and strategy. You haven't addressed the problem. So, for example, The major cause of elevated cholesterol is dysglycemia, elevated blood sugar, elevated insulin. So you take your statin drug, but you haven't changed the elevated insulin and elevated and dysglycemia disruptions in blood sugar. So now you're at high risk for all of the problems associated with those because you haven't corrected the issue. Whereas if you lower your blood sugar, if you go on the ketogenic diet, if you stabilize your insulin, your cholesterol will drop, and so will the likelihood of further degenerative conditions. When you take the statin drug, that doesn't happen. When you take the statin drug, yeah, you might, force your cholesterol numbers down, but you haven't corrected the problem.
It's like putting the electrical tape over the check engine light, Ben.
Yes. And here's another thing. When you have high blood pressure is one of the most troubling and difficult to treat conditions, medical conditions or medical diagnosis. I don't want to say difficult to treat, difficult to find the cause of. They call most hypertension is called essential hypertension, meaning they don't have a cause. There's no cause. They don't know what the cause is. It's called essential hypertension. So, what is essential hypertension? Why would the body's perfect? This is how you have to go into this with a premise. The body's perfect. The body has millions of years of evolution behind it. It has figured things out. Humans, our brains, our minds are dumb, but the body is brilliant. You have to go into this understanding the disease, the development of disease, and the healing process. You have to go into it with that premise, with that frame, with that context, that the body's perfect and brilliant. So essential hypertension, there's high blood pressure. So if the body's perfect, there's a reason for it to have high blood pressure. No? Makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason. So what is the reason? Why do we have high blood pressure? Because the body, the brain I should say, is reading the body, and it's noticing. The brain is noticing. The brain is constantly sensing things. It's one of its main jobs is to sense what's going on inside the body. It's sensing that there's certain organs that aren't getting oxygen because oxygen is delivered from the blood. So it's sensing that the blood is somehow not circulating correctly. Now, you and I know, because we've been talking about this for years, right, why the blood's not circulating. It's called dirty blood. But the medical folks, they don't appreciate that. So the brain sees that the spleen and the intestine and the stomach and the heart and the brain and the skin, all these other organs of the body aren't getting oxygen. So what does it do? What do you think its answer is? Oxygen is delivered from the blood, and the brain now sees that organs aren't getting oxygenated. What do you think the brain does?
I don't know, Ben. Is it high blood pressure?
It turns up the pressure. Yes, exactly. It turns up the pressure. So if you have high blood pressure, you got to figure out why is your blood not circulating correctly, and why does the brain have to up the pressure? That's the real question to ask. But what do we do with high blood pressure as a culture, and specifically our medical professionals? What do?
You get drugs.
What kind of drugs?
Prescription drugs, Ben.
Yes, prescription drugs. But what do the drugs do? They do the exact opposite of what the brain is trying to do. The brain is trying to get more pressure so you get more oxygen to your organs. So what do we do as an answer? Because we're not going upstream and looking for the causes. We give a drug that opens up the blood vessels, that drops the pressure. And the brain is like, well, thanks a lot, mister. I'm trying to increase the pressure to get more oxygen, and you're lowering the pressure. And if you understand the mechanism, you say, well, how can you do something that's stupid? But you don't understand. Nobody understands the mechanism. What I just told you, if you understand what I just told you, that puts you in the upper 1%, first percentile or top percentile of people who understand the body. Doctors don't ever talk about this. They don't even know it. That high blood pressure is caused by a compensatory adaptive mechanism in the brain that's trying to get oxygen delivered. You with me?
Yeah, that makes sense, Ben.
Of course it does. And when you think about dirty blood as being the primary cause of all health challenges, well, of course we're going to have essential hypertension. Of course people are going to have blood pressure issues. And of course, the only way the medical model is going to, only strategy the medical model is going to have at its disposal is to artificially crank open the blood vessels, just like with cholesterol, to artificially shut down the production of cholesterol in the liver. And that's how all drugs work. occasionally you need drugs. If you're in really bad shape, you haven't been paying attention to your health, you don't want to get a stroke, you might need a blood thinner. Or you might need a beta blocker or whatever. You might need that if you haven't been paying attention to your health. So you might need that. But the job of a drug is to get you through from one end to from the disease side to the health side. But you're not supposed to stay on the drug any more than when you're going from one end of the river, from one side of the river to the other. You don't stay in the boat. You use the boat to get to the other side, and then you don't need the boat anymore. And that's what the purpose of drugs, in my mind, as a pharmacist. And there's also pain pills, which praise God for pain pills. I've had them myself, and I can't even tell you how thankful I am that we have pain pills. And then also antibiotics, although those come, obviously those have problems associated with them too. But the idea that you stay on a beta blocker or a vasodilator or a kidney drug, whatever it is, you stay on a drug for your whole life is just, it's bad. It's bad. Don't want to say bad medicine because that's what medicine is, but it's a bad health strategy. Health should not have to be medical. It should be lifestyle.
And that's what we're all about here at the Mineral Way, Ben. If you want to join the team, a good way to do it is to go to themineralway.com. Enroll there. You can become a distributor or a preferred customer to order any of the products that we talk about here, or even to join the team, Ben. I mean, if you're sitting here listening to this show and you've heard the others that we have on the archives or here on this radio station, then you have, whether you know it or not, Ben, you have been training to become a distributor and, more importantly, to help people, Ben, and make money while you do it. But absolutely help people without the use of drugs, without all that bad stuff that we were talking about, Ben, to do it naturally, easily. It makes sense. I mean, what you just said, Ben, a 4-year-old could understand that.
Exactly.
It's simple. It's easy to understand. You are being prepared, whether or not you know it.
I know we get told it's so complicated. People are intimidated. We're intimidated by our health challenges. They make it sound like it's so complicated, and they make it sound like it's so scientific and molecular, and you got to understand all these different chemical reactions and biochemical processes and cellular organelles, and you don't have to do any of that. That's what we do on the show every day, Monday. What we do on the show is we simplify it. And that is really the pedigree or the DNA of Dr. Wallach. That's what Dr. Wallach did. He took all this seemingly complicated stuff about health, and he simplified, made it easy to understand. And that's what we're doing on the program. We're carrying on that legacy.
I love it, Ben. 831-479-1080, 831-218-5726, KSEODave@gmail.com, or go to the Mineral Way. Our first question, Ben, has been waiting for a few weeks here, and it's about hair loss, for females having hair loss.
Hair loss is a very tricky thing because to the body, the hair is not important. To us, it's important because there's a cosmetic appeal and there's a psychological thing going on with hair, especially with women and men too. But to the body, under conditions of duress, it could care less about the hair. So hair loss is a sign of duress as marked by hormones.
Okay.
When does a woman lose her hair? The two main times when she loses her hair: after she has a baby and at menopause. And what do those two situations have in common? Elevated, relatively elevated testosterone to estrogen. The drop in estrogen that occurs after a woman has a baby creates a relatively higher level of testosterone. Testosterone, male hormone, and estrogen are in balance with each other. And right after you have a baby or during menopause, your estrogen drops and your testosterone becomes artificially high. One of the, or not artificially, relatively high. Does that make sense? It's a relative thing.
Yeah.
Okay? So one of the things that happens when testosterone is relatively high compared to estrogen is you'll end up with hair loss. Hair will fall out, and that's why most hair loss occurs in men because of the higher testosterone. But it also occurs in women at those two critical junctures in their life. Sometimes women will have a drop in estrogen just in the middle of it that's not related to menopause or not related to pregnancy. So a couple of things. First of all, there's a major relationship between the thyroid and hair, but you can't work on the thyroid directly. The way you work on the thyroid is by working on estrogen and cortisol. The two most important hormones to focus on when you have hair loss are estrogen and cortisol. And there's lots of ways you could do that. Your ultimate EFAs act like estrogen. You can use cofactors in the manufacture and the production of estrogen, like magnesium and vitamin C. These are cofactors for steroid hormones. Mm-hmm. You can work on adrenal health by working on the second. The adrenal health is the third point in the triangle of disease, the adrenal thyroid complex. But the second point and the first point in the triangle of disease lead to the third point. So really, hair loss is kind of a classic manifestation of the triangle, where the tip of the triangle, or the top of the triangle, is the thyroid, and then the adrenal thyroid complex, which in turn is affected by blood sugar and affected by the digestive system. So in addition to supplements that support estrogen directly, and I should also include progesterone there, and by the way, Longevity has a new estrogen-supporting supplement. I know, you know about Hope? Have you heard about this?
No, Ben.
You don't know about Hope?
No, I haven't heard of this.
Oh, that's a new estrogen, a new menopause supplement.
Okay.
And it works by supporting estrogen. That might be something else you want to try. And then also working on blood sugar and stabilizing blood sugar, stabilizing insulin. And then if you have digestive issues, which most people do when they have, which most people do, period, but especially if you have a hair loss or adrenal issues or estrogenic issues, working on digestive health as well. And one of the greatest things, to me, one of the most important aspects of the Longevity offering product line are the digestive supplements. And so working on digestive health becomes important. The Daily Digest, Ultimate Microbiome, Nightly Essence, I-26, Ultimate Enzymes. There's a whole bunch of wonderful digestive supplements. And this is a really important point. I'm talking about the hair, right?
Yes.
Or the question was about the hair.
Right.
But here I am talking about the intestine. Does that even make sense?
No, Ben. Are you sure you're okay?
Exactly. Make sure I'm okay. Because it doesn't make sense, right?
It's kind of weird.
This lady's asking about her hair, and I'm talking about her bowel movements. Not really, but talking about her intestine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's how we have to look at things. We are so focused on the organ or the gland or the symptom that we want to go away that we forget that the body is networked like a web, where everything is connected to everything else. And that's really, in a nutshell, if you understand what I just said, that is really the problem with our medical model. Our medical model was developed and it evolved, or it was born, we'll say, in the Enlightenment period. The High Middle Ages and then the Enlightenment in the 1700s, basically. Actually, I shouldn't say that. It was like the late 1400s to the 1700s or so. That's when medicine really got going, even to the 1800s. That's when drugs started to get going. What happened in the 1940s, which was like hundreds of years after modern medicine was born, was the development or the evolution of something called systems theory. Have you ever heard of this idea of systems theory?
No.
The idea of systems theory says that systems behave in a certain way that is different from the components of the system. In the body's a system, obviously. A system, by the way, is defined as a bunch of parts working together to achieve a goal. That's what a system is. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a bunch of parts, that are trying to that are cooperating, that are integrated to form a whole. And the thing about system is systems have certain kinds of characteristics, certain kinds of qualities. For example, one of the qualities of a system, one of the characteristics of a system is that it can be, if you take one piece out, if you take a little piece out, the entire system is thrown off. If you take one little piece out of a system, it's no longer a system. That's one of the characteristics of a system, is that every single part is important. Another characteristic of a system is every part is connected to every other part. So if you have a system, everything's linked to each other. The problem with the medical model is it doesn't recognize these two facets, these two features of a system. Number one, it doesn't recognize that you can't take a part out without changing the entire system. You can't take the gallbladder out without changing the entire body. Let me say that again. You can't take the gallbladder out without changing the entire body. The medical model does not recognize that. It says I can take the gallbladder out and you'll just be a body without a gallbladder. No, you'll be a completely different body, and a body that's completely compromised. Because one of the features of a system is you can't take a part out without changing the entire system. another feature of a system is that everything is connected to everything else. So if you have a thyroid problem, you've got a blood sugar problem, you got a digestive problem, you got a blood problem, you got a adrenal problem, you got a cortisol problem, you got an estrogen problem, because everything's connected to everything else. I had a call on Saturday. Matter of fact, I got this call right when MZ called me. I was in the middle of this call. This lady says to me, she might even be listening now because she was in Santa Cruz. She said, I got an uncle, and he has been diagnosed with hyperparathyroidism. What do I do? Well, the parathyroid is a gland that helps regulate calcium metabolism. Calcium is a very important element, and it's tightly controlled, and the parathyroid controls that. And so she wants to know what she can do. And I was like, you can't do anything for the parathyroid, but you can work on all the other parts of the body that are upstream from the parathyroid that are causing the parathyroid problem. There's nothing you can do for a parathyroid, just like there's nothing you can do for a thyroid. That's why thyroid medicine doesn't work, and people have hypothyroidism. They can't do anything about it because it's not a thyroid problem. It's upstream because everything is connected to everything else. And so the fact that we don't recognize as a culture, and the fact that medicine doesn't recognize this idea of systems theory, is behind the notion that you can just poison yourself back to health. That you can just take a drug that suppresses your cholesterol, and that's all. The only thing that's going to happen is you're going to suppress your cholesterol, nothing else. Or they can take your gallbladder out, and you'll just be a body without a gallbladder, but you'll be the same. Because it doesn't recognize the nature of a system, that the body's a system. And it doesn't recognize the nature of the body's a system because modern medicine is an anachronism. It's from a time gone by. It's the days of the successes of modern medicine, with the exception for emergencies, which are a very tiny fraction of our healthcare misery, are the emergencies and the traumas. It's a complete failure, an utter and complete failure, because it's based on technology that is hundreds of years old and has not moved into the quantum age or the systems age, the age of systems, and that is what we're suffering from. And unfortunately, because of marketing, the medical model has done such a great job of marketing itself that we automatically go to the doctor when we have high blood pressure. Automatically go to the doctor when we have high cholesterol. Automatically go to the doctor when we have vertigo. Automatically go to the doctor when we have a skin rash. Automatically go to the doctor when we have an ache or a pain. We automatically do it. We don't even think. Never mind that that the medical model has never done anything for somebody's psoriasis or for somebody's heart disease, except for maybe, hide the symptoms. They can't do anything about it. But we automatically go. Because it's a market. We've been conditioned. We've been programmed to do that.
Ben, let's hold it right there. We got to take a break, and we'll be back on the other side. We'll answer these phone calls, text messages, and emails. You're hanging out with pharmacist Ben Fuchs. This is The Mineral Way, and we'll be back in 2 minutes.
Are you looking for a natural way to support healthy circulation without drugs? Meet Ultimate Daily Classic. Ultimate Daily Classic is an easy-to-take tablet designed to work with your body by gently dilating blood vessels, helping blood flow more freely. And better circulation means better support for your eyes, better support for your liver, better support for your kidneys, and better overall cardiovascular wellness. And when nutrients and oxygen move where they're needed, every organ in your body can function at its best. And the beauty of Ultimate Daily Classic is its simplicity. No complicated routines, no long list of side effects. Just a clean, powerful blend of vitamins, minerals, and plant-based ingredients that help keep your circulation flowing, your energy steady, and your health on track. Try Ultimate Daily Classic today. To order, visit themineralway.com. That's themineralway.com. The fast, simple, trusted way to shop. Buster, is that you? You're moving like a pup on espresso. What gives?
Thanks. Just keeping up with my routine, some light jogs, a few unauthorized trash inspections, and started taking Arthrodex.
Arthrodex? Is that one of those new chew toys with Bluetooth?
Nah, it's a supplement from Youngevity. It's loaded with vitamins, minerals, amino acids, even stuff to keep my joints moving like they used to.
So, it's like a multivitamin, but it actually tastes good?
Exactly. My coat's shinier, I'm springier than ever, and the stairs don't mock me anymore.
Man, I've been getting winded halfway through Squirrel Patrol.
Tell your human to go to themineralway.com. That's where mine gets it. Easy peasy.
Done. I'm one biscuit away from entering the Zoomy Olympics. Give your pets the nutritional support they deserve with Arthrodex from Youngevity, because staying active, happy, and healthy never goes out of style. Available now at themineralway.com.
Or 7910802185726 KSEODave@gmail.com. You can also send questions to themineralway.com and go there. You can also check out the Youngevity catalog. You can enroll as a customer or a distributor. You can do all of that at The Mineral Way. And if you go there, Ben, I would recommend checking out, it says there's a tab there that says Youngevity catalog. Check that site out, because if you become a distributor, you will get a website just like that, no extra charge. You refer people to your website. When they make a purchase, Youngevity sends you a check. It's that easy, Ben. You don't have to answer calls. You can if you want, but it's so easy. It's so easy, Ben. How much easier can we make it?
And the site is awesome too, Dave Michaels.
Oh yeah, thank you,
Thank
Ben.
you for putting that out.
Yeah, you're welcome. Let's get to
Isn't
some
it
fun.
great? Isn't it great how we feel better when we help other people?
Oh, I love it, Ben. There's
Isn't that
nothing
isn't
better.
that awesome? I know that's one of the hidden benefits, or the transparent benefits of having a Youngevity distributorship, is you get to reap the rewards of making a positive difference in people's lives in the most fundamental level there is, which is the level of good health. And you get to make a positive difference in that. And sometimes I know we got to get to some calls, but I just want to say this real quick. Sometimes we in Youngevity, Dave, maybe you can relate to this. Mm-hmm. We use our business as a metric for how successful we are, how much money we made, how big our downline is, how many people, how large our customer base is, etc. But maybe the metric can be modified a little bit, or even changed to be how many people did we help, how much of a difference did we make in the world. How many lives did we improve? How many families are happier because their kid is healthier, or their parent is healthier? How much of a positive effect have we made on planet Earth? And let me tell you something. Even if you don't know anything about business, you can always make a positive difference in somebody's life. And one of the beautiful things about Youngevity is it gives you a platform and a portal to do just that.
All right, Ben, let's get out to the phone calls one more time, 831-479-1080. We are recording live every Monday from 5 to 6 p.m. Pacific time. If you have any questions, you can call us live at that time, 831-479-1080. Text messages can be sent at any time, 831-218-5726. Email as well, kseodave@gmail.com. or go to themineralway.com. All right, Ben, let's see who's first here. I'm just going to hit next, and it looks like it's going to be Larry in Santa Cruz. You're in the air, Larry.
What's up, Larry?
How you doing?
Good to talk to you. What's going on?
I've had Parkinson's for 17 years, and I want to know if there's something you can suggest.
Oh, yeah. We can change your life today. And I know quite a bit about Parkinson's. In fact, I'm helping a guy right now, Chris in Alabama. He called me up randomly, and he said the drugs weren't working for him anymore, and he's shaking, and he's freaking out, blah, blah, blah. He was a new man in less than a month. It's not completely gone, but that's only because he's not completely doing everything we're talking about, but it can be completely gone. So first of all, Larry, do you take baths?
Yeah.
Do you ever take a bath? Do you like to take baths?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
What?
I don't take baths.
Okay, have you taken a bath even once or in the last year or so recently? Or within the last... No, okay. What you'll notice is your tremors go down when you're in the bath. They may even disappear in the bath. In fact, it's very unusual to have a tremor in the bath. Warm bath. right? Why do you suppose that would be? Why would a tremor disappear when you go take a warm bath, do you think?
The temperature of your body changes.
The temperature changes, but more importantly, the muscles relax. Parkinson's disease is almost like a very, very, very scared body. Think about the shaking that happens. It's almost like your body's freaked out. It's like really scared. And that's a psychological description of what's happening biochemically. What's happening biochemically is you've activated your sympathetic nervous system. It's a very, very sympathetically driven, like pretty much all diseases actually, sympathetic nervous system driven problem. The sympathetic nervous system is your fear nervous system, your contraction nervous system. So anything you could do to open up your body will relax tremors. Oxygen is very important. Learning how to do slow, deep, rhythmic breathing. Slow is very important for Parkinson's. Slow, deep, rhythmic breathing. Look up Buteyko breathing or just go online. And you don't want to do it unless you know what you're doing because you can mess things up if you don't breathe correctly. So learn how to activate the respiratory response. Go on YouTube, look up videos, and practice different ways of breathing. So warm baths, different ways of breathing. That's number 2. And number 3, one of the most important causes of a freaked out body involves toxicity that gets into the bloodstream through the gut, through the intestine. And we talk about this all the time. It's called leaky gut. So let me tell you something, Larry. I'm gonna act like I'm a psychic. I'm gonna give you a psychic reading. Okay, you ready, Larry?
Yeah,
You've had digestive problems for a long time, right, Larry?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, guess what? I'm not a psychic. I'm only a pharmacist. I was just teasing. But how did I know that? Because toxicity that gets into the bloodstream is always the source of degenerative health challenges. And that's why if you go on Google now, I've been talking about this for 30 years, about the relationship between the gut and the brain, Parkinson's disease. And people laughed. Doctors said, I don't know what I was talking about. They called me a quack. They made fun of me. But if you go on Google now and you look it up, now you'll see, 30 years after I was talking about it, that's how they treat Parkinson's, with fecal transplants, with probiotics, with dietary changes. They all know that Parkinson's is related to digestive health now. Not all of them, but it's becoming well known. Don't wait for the doctors to approve of things. Start working on your gut now. Do a food diary. Notice when you shake what you just ate. This is one of the things I worked on with Chris in Alabama. He noticed that every time he had junk food, chips, hamburgers, buns, bread, he would shake more. So notice the relationship between the two, between what you're eating and your shakes. Relax the body. Start using supplements that activate the relaxation response or support the relaxation response. Essential fats are very important. The B complex is unspeakably important. That's one of the reasons I like the BTT so much, by the way, is because of the B complex. Coenzyme Q10 can be very helpful. Longevity has I forgot what product has coenzyme Q10 for longevity, but coenzyme Q10 can be very important. Melatonin, believe it or not, can be helpful. What other nutrients? Magnesium has a muscle relaxing effect. That might be helpful for you. Hydration, water, drinking a lot of water, making sure you're keeping your blood sugar stable, because when your blood sugar spikes, when your blood sugar spikes, insulin will come out, and your Parkinson's symptoms can be associated with high levels of insulin and hypoglycemia. So there's almost like you have too many strategies for dealing with Parkinson's, but there's plenty. And guess what? The doctors, nothing. They'll give you Sinemet or levodopa, which is like and then you're probably on that. And that's the best they can do, because they don't understand what we just talked about for like 20 minutes when we started the program, how everything is connected to everything else. Another thing you could do, by the way, I just thought of this, is something called butyrate. 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 And one of the new longevity, do you know offhand, David? One of the new longevity products has butyrate in it.
I do not know.
But butyrate, you can support butyrate by supporting a healthy intestine. In fact, butyrate is made by gut bacteria in the intestine. So you got lots and lots and lots and lots of places to work. If you want longevity products, I would get on the Synaptive. I would get on the Healthy Brain and Joint Pack. I would get on some I-26. I-26 is a really underappreciated product. It kills excess bacteria in the colon. I would use your Ultimate Enzymes with all your meals. I would get on the OsteoMag, very relaxing. And then if you have issues sleeping, and sometimes Parkinson's patients have issues sleeping, get on the sleep gummies. Okay?
Right.
You got lots you could do. Don't go down the rabbit hole of the medical model. There's nothing they can do for you. There's tons of strategies you can do. And by the way, I don't know if you took notes or you wrote down what I was saying, but if you get a chance, listen again, take notes, and take it to your doctor and see what he says. All the supplements I talked about, all the protocols, the strategies like working on the digestive system and the blood sugar system, calming the body down, taking warm baths. Take it to your doctor, see what he says. Okay?
All right.
God bless you, my friend.
Thank you for the call, 831-479-1080. And to Larry and anybody else, these shows are archived at themineralway.com. You can listen to them there. I believe they are also on YouTube, Ben, the Mineral Way videos.
Is there a Mineral Way YouTube channel?
I believe so, yes.
What do you mean you believe so? You set it up.
Ben, you know how many things I do here?
Okay, gotcha.
I kind of forget what I'm doing sometimes, but I'm pretty sure you can find these things on YouTube. I wanted to make them as easy as possible to access. So again, you can find the archives at The Mineral Way or go to YouTube. All right, Ben, let's see who's up next. I'm going to hit next, and it is Craig and Campbell. You're in the air.
Yeah, hey there. Hey Ben. It's
Craig,
good to hear you back on the Mondays, man.
What's that?
I said it's good to hear you back on the Mondays.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
And, before I get to my question about the lower back injury and supplements, I heard you Saturday on MZ. Now, you had a show with a cardiologist. I missed that one.
Oh, you want to hear the story? It's a really funny story.
I'd like to hear the show, you know.
Oh, yeah, you got. I don't know. It's online. You got to look it up. Just look up Ben Potkin, Pharmacist Ben, and cholesterol. I did look it up in the past, and I want to be very clear. I was kind of dissing on the doctor a little bit because I was teasing him. I was dissing him. I was teasing him, but he's a good guy. He's a really nice guy, and MZ really likes him, and he's a very likable guy. But so MZ, I don't know if you know this, Dave. Have you ever heard this story? This MZ, you know how he likes to rock, shake things up a little bit, stir the pot, right?
Yeah.
So he decided he was going to get me and a cardiologist on a show and talk about statins, talk about cholesterol.
Okay.
And so I get on the show, and this guy was, I got to be really, really clear. This guy was super nice, really nice guy. And anyway, so we start talking, and I just said just the basics, that you don't mechanically poison the body to lower cholesterol. It's like there's better ways to do it. And when you take a drug, there's a price to be paid. And I talked about all that stuff, and he couldn't disagree with me. Of course he can't disagree with me. There's nothing I say that doesn't make sense. Medical people, and I love talking to medical people because they understand. So he couldn't disagree. And so we talked for about 45 minutes or so, and it was supposed to be 2 hours. And in the middle of our talk, he goes, I just remembered I have an appointment I got to get to. And he bailed on us right in the middle of it. It was like, you look at your watch. Would you look at the time? I got to go. I had no idea.
Well, we have to assume that he was telling us the truth, Ben.
I'm going to assume that, but I found it very interesing.
Ben, did you drive him crazy?
I drove him crazy because
the heart. You told the cardiologist. I bet that the heart's a vortex and not a pump or something.
Have you heard me say that? I talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
The heart is a The heart generates a vortical. It generates a vortical spin. It's not really a pump as much as it creates a vortical pressure, and then the electromagnetics of the blood vessels and the blood are what propel it. It's really an electromagnetic phenomena, and the blood. It's not just the heart that's vorticizing the blood. In the vessels, the blood travels in a vortex. Did you know this, David?
No.
The blood travels in a vortex through the vessels, and vortices generate electrical charges if they have the right components, which the blood does. So it's the magnetics of the heart, of the blood vessels in the blood that account for its ability to circulate. Think about it. You have 60,000 miles of blood vessels. Dave, did you hear that?
Wow,
60,000 miles. And some of these blood vessels are so thin you can't see them. They're invisible. They're like way thinner than a hair. And you're going to say that the heart can pump, one pump of the heart can propel the blood through 60,000 miles of blood vessels? Come on. Who thinks that? It doesn't even make any sense. It's impossible. Through 60,000 miles of blood vessels? Does that...
Are you lying to me, Ben?
Which part?
About how many miles of blood vessels?
No, it's like 50 or 60,000. I'm pretty sure it's 60,000.
Yeah.
Look it up. These days you can look everything up. Everything I say you can look up, by the way. You know that,
yeah,
right?
but the cardiologist said, I've got one in my family. They don't. I told them what you said, Ben. They don't buy into that.
They don't buy which part? Which part?
They don't buy that the heart is not a pump.
Ask them how logically a pump the size of a fist, which is what your heart is. Ask them logically how a pump the size of your fist can propel a thick liquid, a viscous gel-like substance through 60,000 miles. How is that even remotely possible? How does that make sense to you? What's your name? I forget this guy's name.
I was Craig. Yeah, I mean,
Craig.
I tend to believe. I have a good friend, an acupuncturist, but she's also a brilliant. She graduated from pharmacology, a high class at UC Berkeley. She thinks both of you guys are right. She thinks she thinks you're all right what you're saying, but she also thinks there is some pumping action coming from the heart. I don't know.
It may have a small pumping action, but it's not pumping 60. It's not pumping of this gel substance through 60,000 miles of blood vessels, some of which are microscopically small, like 5 or 10 times thinner than human hair. Mm-hmm. Right? That's not. How is that possible? The kidneys have these blood vessels that are wrapped around, like the way you ever look at the inside of a baseball, how everything's all wrapped around. That's how the kidneys are, but the blood vessels in the kidneys are microscopically thin. How is it possible for the heart, which is 3 feet away from the kidneys or however long it is, for a single pump to be able to propel the blood like that without electromagnetics?
Yeah.
Now, electromagnetics, that solves the problem. What's that?
It's all really complex, but I better get to my question.
What's your question?
Dave, I called in so I tweaked my back. I know how to deal with it and bounce back fast. I'm taking the Beyond Tangy Tangerine.
Do you have back pain? Do you have back pain?
And I know how to different ways to deal with it. I'm taking the collagen. I'm taking the young.
Hang on. Is it lower back pain?
Yeah, it's lower with the nerves, the bone, and the tissue. I wanted to see if you guys have something else.
Yeah. There's plenty of stuff. But it's all going to be. Your problem is the skeletal system. When you have problems with the skeletal system, the problems involve movement, dynamism, and so you got to address it at that level. And the way you address it at that level is by having body work. And I absolutely love rolfing. Chiropractic is also good. But you got to have some body work. How we walk when we have a like a little tweak on our little toe, that changes everything about how you walk. And over the course of time, gravity kicks in and we start to walk funny. All of these take their toll on the body. And body work is really, really important. That's first of all. Second of all, as far as nutrition goes, fats are the key. Essential fatty acids, fatty vitamins, and fatty minerals like zinc. Also, there are structural nutrients, particularly nutrients that improve the hydration of the collagen, hydration of the fascia, hydration of the connective tissue. As we age, we lose our ability to hydrate. So things like what you just said, collagen supplements, collagen peptides. And Jeffy's got a great collagen peptide, by the way. Hyaluronic acid, plant-derived minerals. Plant-derived minerals support hydration of fascia, of the tissue. And then one of the most underappreciated of all the longevity products, in my opinion, especially for what you're dealing with and for hydration of the connective tissue, is the Fuchs Z. And if you're not taking that, you should definitely be taking it. Glucosamine, the glucogel caps, healthy bone and joint pack, that will also help you. Topically, get on the CM cream, and you may want to take the CM capsules, but definitely take the CM cream. And that's an incredible topical pain reliever for inflammatory skeletal and connective tissue issues.
What was that one preceded Z you said?
It's called Fucoid Z. F as in Frank, U as in uncle.
Zinc? What is that?
Oh, I said zinc before. What do you? Fucoid Z is it's an algae, and it has it has algae, and it has something in it called fucoidin, which is one of those substances that we talked about earlier that holds on to water and traps water, and it can help improve hydration of the fascia. Dehydrated fascia is something that happens as we get older and as we get sicker and less healthy, and that can be a serious cause of contraction as well as pain.
Okay. Hey, I'm. This is too long. I know people are waiting, so I'm going to take off.
Thank you for the call, Craig. 831-479-1080. Somebody has. Let me see. What was the question? They texted it to me, Ben. I think it was about. Blood. Let's see. Can you ask Ben what effect giving blood has on overall blood pressure?
Giving blood, it's not going to really have an effect on overall blood pressure directly, I don't think, because your body's just going to make more blood. Initially, you might have a drop in blood pressure if you don't have as much blood, but your body will compensate for that pretty quickly. It's not like when you give blood, you permanently have less blood. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's not going to be your body's going to compensate for it. It may drop the blood pressure a little bit. I don't know the answer to that initially, but it's not going to have a long-term effect.
479-1080. Let's see what Rory has to say. You're in the air, Rory.
Ben, thank you, and Dave. So, hey, Ben, you sounded great Saturday, by the way. Way to pick up. Oh, yeah. You're such a pro. But anyway, couple quotes. I had one MD one time tell me, this probably 15 years ago, he said, if all my patients were like you, I'd be out of business.
That's right.
That was a great admission. I heard another MD say you should be on one medication for every decade of life. I went, whoa.
I remember you told me that.
I'm failing because I'm on none. The other thing, good report. A colleague, early 30s, he's like an Olympian. He trains like a professional athlete. I gave him a single packet of the BTT 2.0.
Yeah.
I said, because he takes vitamins and all that good stuff. I go, here, try this. It'll change your life. Maybe 2 weeks later, I just happened to go into his office because I'm not always at that office. And we're talking, and then he's like, goes into his trash can. He's like trying to fish up. And I go, what's he doing? He fished out that little packet. He goes, dude, I just took this vitamin mineral thing you gave me. He goes, I got an unbelievable rush. This is
Isn't that amazing?
Don't
you love that?
And this guy's, awesome. I'm going to buy a box just to have those and hand them out.
Yeah, just to hand them out.
It's a trip.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. You know, it's funny, Rory, because sometimes I feel silly saying these things. People don't believe you. But like you see.
Well, that's what he said. That's exactly what he said. He goes, I almost didn't believe you.
Yeah, people don't believe you.
Okay.
If you, let me say this real quickly, Rory. Anybody out there listening to this, and you're thinking you're skeptical about it, you're cynical about it, just listen to what Rory said. Listen to what Dave says. Listen to what I say. It's unbelievable what can happen when you start to be on tangerine, even if you're already on supplements, like you just said, because it's liquid. It goes right to work.
Yeah, I'm twice his age. I'm older than his dad.
Wow.
It's just a trip. Anyway, I wasn't expecting that. It was timely. Last thing, a question. Yeah. Explain to the listening audience, if there's enough time, I know we're towards the end of the show, what causes atherosclerosis? Because a lot of people go, I got high cholesterol. It's settling out in my arteries. It's plugging me up. I'm going to have a heart attack. I'm going to die.
Atherosclerosis. Anyway, I'll give you a clue. No, Rory, don't go away. Rory?
Yeah.
I'll give you a clue. And you can be my straight man here. Okay? So why does atherosclerosis only happen in arteries and not in veins?
Good question.
Yeah, is that interesting?
The arteries are bigger. There's more flow.
Well, it's not really the size. In fact, it's not really the size.
Okay.
Because if it was, if the arteries are bigger, then they should be less likely to clog in the veins, right?
Maybe it's the velocity of the fluid.
You're getting warmer. Okay. Yes, it is exactly. It is the velocity. So what is it about the velocity, though? The arteries are where they're closer to the heart. The veins are on the way back up. So, yes, it's the velocity. But what is it about the velocity? What does the velocity do? The velocity is more damaging to the vessels. Atherosclerosis begins as damaged vessels. The lining of the inside of the vessel is called the endothelium, the endothelial lining and endothelial cells. These cells become damaged by a combination of the velocity, like you said, the high pressure proximal to the heart, closer to the heart, and toxicity in the blood, thickness, hypercoagulated blood. The combination creates damage to the arteries.
So and especially the density of the blood.
The thickness of the blood, the viscosity of the blood, the toxicity in the blood, all of these damage the inner lining of the vessel. When the inner lining of the vessel becomes damaged, inflammatory chemicals are released into the blood. This is one of the things the body does. When there's damage, it signals the cells that are damaged send out red alerts. This is an amazing concept when you think about it. When the cell is damaged, it will send out a chemical red alert. Help in chemicals. Help. And that help involves the infiltration of the immune system. And the infiltration of the immune system patches up the wound, the damage. And along with the infiltration of the immune system, white blood cells and infectious material and inflammatory material, you get repair substances. Guess what those repair substances are? Cholesterol. And calcium. And they form plaques. But if it happens once in a while, that's great. It's a beautiful thing. But when it happens chronically, because nobody's corrected the problem, what ends up happening...
Yeah, it's like, you know what it's like? It's like Murphy's Crossing. They just, forever, they kept patching it. It's a roadway.
I don't know. Is that
it's a pothole. Yeah,
okay.
Between Monterey and Santa Cruz. Yeah. They kept fixing the potholes, and they just kept layering, and it was crap. They finally resurfaced it, but I could see like your arterial walls have potholes, and the cholesterol comes in and just layers in there to fix the pothole. Is that a good analogy?
Well, it's the same idea, yes. Atherosclerosis is a type of arteriosclerosis. Sclerosis means narrowing of the vessel, and arterio is the arteries. I guess we got to go.
We got to get out of here, Ben.
Thank you so much.
831-479-1080 every Monday from 5 to 6 p.m. Pacific time. We will take your questions. 831-479-1080, 218-5726 with your text messages, kseodave@gmail.com, or you can go to the Mineral Way. Find out more information there about becoming a distributor, preferred customer, or even dropping off your questions there. That's themineralway.com. Pharmacist Ben Fuchs, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Looking for a better way to take charge of your health and maybe even your income? Then listen up, because themineralway.com is your one-stop destination for world-class longevity products and a powerful business opportunity. At themineralway.com, you can order the same high-quality supplements featured on the Mineral Way podcast, trusted by thousands and shipped to customers across the U.S. and other countries around the world. And these aren't just any products. They're designed to support energy, clarity, mobility, all the things that help you live better, feel better, and stay active no matter your age. But here's where it gets really exciting. You can also become a distributor. When you enroll through themineralway.com, your sponsors, also known as your upline, are none other than pharmacist Ben Fuchs and me, Dave Michaels. That means you're not on your own. You'll get expert training, a full library of support materials, and your very own professional website all ready to go. You can run your entire business from your home computer, smartphone, or landline. No employees, no building to rent, no overhead, just you helping others, building a business, and creating a future. And if you're the kind of person who listens to the show, you already get it. You care about your health, you care about people. That makes you the perfect candidate to start your own business. Imagine setting your own hours, working with a team that wants to see you succeed, and waking up each day knowing that you're making a difference for yourself and for others. Plus, you can go at your own pace. Whether you want to earn a little extra on the side or go full time, you're in control. No pressure, just real support and real opportunity. And here's the kicker. It's your business. You can pass it on to a family member or even sell it down the road. So whether you're looking to improve your health, build something meaningful, or add new income stream, it's all waiting for you. There is a better way, themineralway.com. That's themineralway.com. Check it out today.